Just over a year ago, I was a matron in the NHS and responsible for a whole team of people and teams, also blood donors. And basically today I'm trying to rebuild my life after a rare stroke sort of changed everything for me. And I just wanted to just really tell my story about how I got here and why I've started this channel. So I was born in the UK, and when I was 6 months old, my father got a job in South America, in Peru, and in the Andes, and we went there. And I spent the next 10 years of my life growing up there, experiencing some very incredibly different things, and would have a lot of very fond childhood memories, predominantly from there. And that was took me till I was about 11 years old, and from there we moved to South Africa. And that's where I spent then the rest of my kind of formative years, going to secondary school there and then doing my nurse training. And ultimately, till my late 30s, I then moved to England, and that's where I stay and live now. And so whilst I was in South Africa, I did my nurse training there, and I did lots of nursing in lots of different areas, a very broad kind of experience, and then ultimately deciding that I really loved intensive care. And then that's where I kind of spent nursing about just over 20 years in intensive care nursing. And obviously very different nursing in intensive care in South Africa to nursing in the UK in intensive care. Obviously a lot more very trauma-related, violent-related crimes. So very, very different. And it was, I think, an incredible sort of situation in a nursing sense to learn and deal with sort of the trauma, the families, the loss, the suffering and that sort of thing, but also very rewarding at the same time to be able to make a difference in people's lives. And I've loved intensive care very, very much. But then as I got older, I decided to go into management, into less clinical, and that's where I ended up being a matron and working in the NHS for the last few years. And so yeah, I've sort of built my career through that in nursing in the two different countries. In that time as well, back in South Africa, I did lots of traveling, did some backpacking. I think it's a very typical thing that Australians and New Zealanders, South Africans do. And so I went backpacking on a couple of occasions and had a brilliant time. That was such a big learning curve for me in the sense of building my resilience and my self-reliability and my experience as a youngster or in my 20s. And I don't regret it for a minute. And I've encouraged my son to do that because I think it's really important, and he's doing that now. My daughter hopefully will do that in future. And it was been a great sort of period of stability for me really since I've been in the UK. I met my wife at work, through work in intensive care, and we'd been married almost 20 years. And we had not a sort of a marriage in the sense of a traditional marriage, because obviously back when we wanted to do that, it wasn't legal in the UK. And so we had a civil partnership instead. And so that's what so she's really technically my civil partner. And she is my rock and my special person in my life, and I appreciate her so much. And we have two lovely, beautiful children. One is 19 and the other is 17. They are unidentical twins. So they are our greatest achievement, our greatest pride and our greatest joy are our two children, who we adore and love unconditionally, and bring us great happiness and sometimes a little trauma. But that is part of raising children, and it's been a journey, and one I don't regret for a single minute. Yeah, so we were planning for our retirement, and of course we weren't able to do it. We still are going to do it the same way, but just a little differently really, and that's a contradiction in terms, isn't it? But just not at the same time, because obviously I'm now having to stop working sooner. But and life wasn't perfect, but despite life not being perfect, I always knew who I was. I always had a very strong sense of self, and so thankfully that has remained. It's taken a bit of a knock, but that is what I'm rebuilding and learning to know myself in a different way, because obviously I can't do certain things that I did, and I'm just, as I say, probably learning about different things about myself, and that's been really quite an interesting thing to do as well. I think I've allowed myself to be more kind of vulnerable really and put myself out there a bit more, whereas before I always tried to be very sort of, you know, self-contained and strong, and, you know, tried to not show vulnerability and that sort of thing, and that's probably not a healthy thing in itself. So yeah, so that's really, that's how I kind of got to that point. And then suddenly I developed these sudden symptoms about, you know, April last year. Thought it was a migraine. I developed sort of memory problems, spatial awareness, visual problems, had multiple falls because of the spatial awareness. I was sort of dyscalculate, and you know, I would start watching a sort of a drama series or something, and I'd have to keep on rewatching it. I have to recap the one from last week because I couldn't remember what it was about, and anyway, and all those things. But I've kind of managed to not let that upset me. I just do it with humor and you know, just accepting that that's just what it is, and that's okay. You know, it's not a disaster. The biggest thing was really the invisible losses. You know, that is like sort of I look normal, but people just don't understand because I still speak and I sound fine. I think I sound reasonably intelligent, and yet, you know, it doesn't seem like there's anything really wrong with me, but they don't see the things that actually are. And so that's created obviously issues with confidence, and having to actually rely on people a bit more, and on reminders and technology, and, you know, sat nav I have to use all the time, even on familiar routes, because I just have no concept in my head about, I can't visualize routes or anything like that. And sort of having difficulties with numbers and misreading things and that sort of thing. But the hardest part wasn't really the losing the physicality or the physical things. It was really more losing the person or that I thought I was. And I think that that's really been the biggest adjustment for me, is learning that acceptance that I'm still the same, but I'm not quite the same. So what I've learned really is to, you know, really reaching out and asking for help, which I would rather have not done. I was never used to do that, and actually it's been really heartwarming, really, to see how people just are there to support you, people who love you. And you know, with my partner, and I always try to protect her and try not to burden her with things, and I was always, you know, I've had to rely on her more, and actually she's been more resilient than I ever thought, you know, one would be. I mean, it was silly of me to do that, but I just did. So and it's just been really lovely to see that, really. And also just accepting the change. I mean, that's what I've had to do, is accept the change. I've been sort of learning to be kinder to myself as well, you know, and not be so hard on myself, and finding a purpose. And that's been great, actually, because I've now found a purpose, and I don't have to pretend that everything is wonderful. And there is going to be good things and bad things, and that's fine. You know what I mean? I just want to be authentic and honest about what goes on in my daily living. And I think for this to be useful to me or to anybody else, it has to be truthful. And so with the channel, I'm hoping to sort of really share life after 60, what recovery from a stroke is like, and what adaptations I've had to do or will need to do in future. And also talk around a bit more about the invisible disability aspect of it, which I've had lots of kind of DMs and sort of conversations around, which has been very interesting. And also the technology and the AI that I now need to use and rely on really as my second brain, and that's been really a really interesting kind of thing, and I'll share a bit of that as time goes by. Also do a bit more travel. I've got a passion for China. I love it, and I'm hoping to go back there more and share that and how you can travel with a disability or with challenges, and that as a solo person, you don't need to change it or stop it. And then obviously share my things with my family and about my family, so that you can get to know how they impact and how they support me. And also my other passion, which is lawn bowls. I love lawn bowls and took it up a couple of years ago, and that's been incredible and good for my mental well-being and my physical well-being, and hope to incorporate that with my travels and kind of sort of looking at different bowling clubs and communities in different settings in the world, and just do some interviews and that sort of thing. So that might be quite fun. And really it's all just about starting over, and it's going to be fun trying to just figure that out really. So I don't really know where exactly this next chapter is actually going. But I'm hoping that if you've ever faced any challenges or any changes, and that you want to share them with me or not, it's fine. And just hopefully, as I said the other day, just reach out to other people as well if you feel comfortable to share any issues, or if you're having any challenges with disabilities or anything like that, then obviously do, and just try and figure it all out together. So hopefully you will stay and share this journey with me, this adventure with me, and please sort of like, comment, subscribe, all those things that one has to do on social media to help me actually grow the channel, and hopefully I'll see you along the way.